Hello YouTubers, it's Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly episode. And as usual, I've got some stuff to share with you, show you, whatever. So, it was a pretty good week for Diecast, fair week for Diecast. Got some awesome stuff, and I'm just going to show it to you. So, starting with, I got an RLC from my mom. That's pretty sweet, right? So, my mom perpetuates my hobby, by the way, just so you know. Yes, I'm 36 years old, and anyway, she picked me up, looks like 2 sets of these Hot Wheels stamps. These are the same, right? Yep. So Hot Wheels 50th anniversary stamp sets. I thought that was pretty awesome that she picked those up for me. It's not something I would have grabbed on my own. I'm not really one to collect like Hot Wheels paraphernalia per se. I'm just really in it for the cars, as you may gather by taking a look at this channel. But occasionally it's kind of cool to have some odd stuff like that. And if this channel's still going on, you know, way down in the future, it might be something neat to share or show in like a future video. Who knows? Who knows? So she got me that, and then she went out of town, and there's like this thrift store up north where she went to see, my dad and my mom went to go see their friends up at their cabin up north. Hang out and have a good time and whatnot. And there's like a little like general store or thrift store kind of thing. So she picked me up some cars from there. That guy right there, just a played with car. Probably give this to my son to play with. The sandbox car, this Porsche 930, which I already have like 3 of these. So probably give that to my son as well. And then these are kind of interesting. So she got me this Mighty Machine Streakers Super Speed Wheelers Imperial Diecast. Really weird. It's a Ferrari Testarossa. Really odd looking. We're going to go ahead and open that up in the second segment and take a look at this packaging. The neat thing about it, though, and now that I'm looking at the back, is there's a Porsche 959 on here that I know I have and had no idea like what brand or where that came from. So now it looks like I know it came from these Mighty Machines Imperial Diecast, which it looks like, you know, there's Toy Corporation, Los Angeles, California, and Toy Canada Limited. It looks like these were originally sold at Kmart. Kmart's actually on the packaging. So there's that. And then this Road and Track 2-car value pack, Mercedes, which these appear to be Maistos. I'm guessing that's what they are. Yep, they definitely are. It says Maisto right on the back. So we'll open up these 2 Mercedes. And then a Racing Champions, 1989, 10 years of Racing Champions, I guess is what this is. These are limited to 9,999, but the cool thing is it's a 57 Plymouth Fury. So that's cool, because I don't have a Plymouth Fury in Racing Champions. I've got one in Ertl, I've got one in Auto World, of course I got one in Hot Wheels. What other brands do I have one in? I don't think Greenlight has one out yet, but I think they're putting one out. At least they're putting out a larger scale one, so I'm guessing there's probably going to be a 1/64 scale version of the Christine car. I think they're going to put that out. Anyway, the Plymouth Fury is just a cool, iconic car, and mainly because of the movie Christine, but still a nice looking one. So we're going to open up that and take a look at that in the second segment. All right, so that's the stuff from my mom. I got some mail from Hot Wheels, which we'll take a quick look at, and I think we'll open these up in the second segment. One was this Gold Rush Long Gone. Now, this was a subscription car from, when were those memberships sold? 2016, and then you bought the subscription, and then everything was delayed and a mess per usual for HotWheelsCollectors.com, and a ton of stuff got delayed and all this. So I should have got this a year ago, okay? And I finally got it. It's number 4763 out of 5,000. This was the last subscription car that I needed to complete that past membership, and they finally shipped it to me. So we'll open up that in the second segment. And then I did get this Hypo Hauler. And this one is number 8,047 of 12,000. I got 2 of these. I ended up selling one, like pre-order selling it on eBay. And then I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to keep this one. But now I think I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to open it up. because I do like this casting. I think it's cool. I believe it's just an alteration of the one that we've seen in pop culture and whatnot. But whatever, we're gonna go ahead and I will open up the Hypo Hauler in the second segment of the video. It's a Gas Monkey license thing. Not a huge Gas Monkey garage guy. I've actually, to tell you the truth, I've never seen the show. I may have mentioned it more than once in this channel. Not much of a TV guy. Sorry about it. I only got time for like one hobby, and that's basically diecast. Well, two hobbies: diecast and music. And I just don't have time to sit and watch a ton of shows on TV. I don't even have cable, so that's why I'm not schooled in pop culture and all that other stuff, you know. Anyway, not that that's a great thing or whatever. Just it is what it is. All right, so then Kings of Crunch. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. 40% off, of course. Got to use that 40% off coupon. This is the only, I wanted this one in the Dirty Bigfoot, which Dirty Bigfoot, my buddy Suresh has for me. He picked it up from a Meyer, so he's got that one. So that's great. So I got that one coming, so I didn't pick that one up. But this one, I had to grab this, just, I don't know, because I wanted a version of the Chevy K10. So the Bigfoot's the Ford truck that's in this series, so I wanted the Chevy. And this was the coolest one in the Chevy category. Was this Gulf Oil Super Special. The other one was the USA one, which is kind of cool, but I didn't think the Tampo scheme looked as cool as this gold and black. So I decided to pick this one up. And we're going to open this in the second segment of the video. So there's that. Found the new Johnny Lightning Muscle Cars USA series hit. Now, I had one of the cars from the series already. I already had the Olds Cutlass, which I got from SC Diecast. This is definitely one I wanted. So this car, as you see, is limited to 1 of 2,500. So it's not as many as some of the other cars in the series. And the reason is because this particular version is not available in a straight pack to hobby dealers, meaning you can only find it in the actual Johnny Lightning Muscle Cars USA cases, which there's only, I guess, 2,500 of those. And it is the Chevy Malibu. This is a very desirable casting, or at least it was now, maybe until they put a bunch of these out. But it's a very desirable casting, the Chevy Malibu. The older Malibus from Johnny Lightning, if you find them, tend to fetch pretty good money on the secondary market, just because there's no other real good version of like an 80s style Malibu. So anyway, very, very cool. We're going to go ahead and open up that. I definitely want the version B. This is the version A, which I hope to eventually find. Then I was rearranging coats on a coat rack in my house and found a bag that was kind of hidden behind coats, and there was some die-cast in it. Totally forgot about these. This is the Disney Pop Culture series. The only two vehicles from the series that I did want, which is the Volkswagen T1 panel and of course the Ford Transit Supervan. So we'll go ahead and open up these. The cool thing about these, and I don't know if you guys know this, but I like the original Real Riders cars that have like the gray or white hubs, and these are very reminiscent of those Real Riders, the original Real Riders. So we're gonna go ahead and open those up. And I wanted to say that they made them gray because a lot of these shows were originally in black and white and whatnot. So yeah. So that's cool. I'm not a huge Disney guy by any means or anything like that either, but had to have those because it's two castings that I collect. Speaking of castings I collect, the 2005 Ford GT from Johnny Lightning. Here is a Johnny Lightning 2-pack. My buddy Crazy Todd, he's a great dude. He always ends up ordering duplicates of stuff that he knows that I'll probably want one and whatnot, and sometimes he just forgets what he pre-orders and pre-orders stuff from different vendors and all this jazz. Anyway, he had like 3 of these, so I'm like, I will take one off of your hands right away, sir. Thank you very much. And I did. So here is that. These are limited. Ooh, I don't know. Usually it says on these things. This one doesn't say what they are limited to. Oh, and I should say too, the other one that's coming out simultaneously with this one is the Import Heat that has the Nissan Skyline GTR and the Nissan 240SX Custom, which I did come across it at Hobby Lobby, but I didn't pick it up because the Skyline in both of the packs that were there was completely jacked up. The base was a mess. The stance of it just looked completely awful. I could not even bring myself to get it. I was excited to see it. I'm like, oh wow, those 2 packs are showing up. I want one. No, I don't want one because I don't want that that Skyline with that mess. So Johnny, if you're listening, if you do watch my videos around 2, which I maybe you do, maybe you don't, you need to fix that Skyline casting or just stop releasing it, to be honest, because it looks awful. It really does. I don't like being negative on these videos too often, but I have to say that people, you can't just rely on people like, oh, it's a Skyline, I gotta have it, I'm gonna pick it up no matter if it looks like garbage or not. No, dude, people are looking at that and probably thinking that, wow. I mean, you got away with it in the first release in Street Freaks, but I mean, that gap in the wheel well, and you guys may or may not know what I'm talking about. I did show it in a different video, and some other YouTubers such as like Diecast Show Customs showed that issue in a great video where he investigated what exactly was going on. So check out Xavier's video if you have not. Diecast Show Customs. You may have to search through it, but great example. And actually, buddy Xavier, if you're watching, put a link to that video in a comment so people can watch that video if they have not seen it already. It's a great reference into what's wrong with that casting. So anyway, so there's that. And then I got some Matchbox. Now, I was really excited to find these. First of all, I found this 5-pack, the MBX Rescue, which is like the Highway Patrol, Texas Highway Patrol, Texas Patrol. So I was excited to find this one. I still need to find the one that's got the E-type Jag Sapphire in it, Sapphire Gem in it. I forgot what that one's called. Well, either way, I need to find it, and hopefully will. I think these will be, they're going to be put out a lot. These are getting distributed quite normally, so I think I will find one of those, and if not, I know someone I can probably snag one off of. Might have to pay a little more than I want to for it, but I want that 5-pack. But I did get this one. We'll open it. Second segment of the video. We're also going to open all these, and I found this case of Matchbox. And you'll have to forgive me because I don't know what the case code is, and I don't even really know how to read the case codes for Matchbox on the back of the card. I'm not even sure if they're easy to read on that. But out of a 24 count case, wow, did this have like just awesome stuff. I mean, really cool stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I found 2 of these Sapphire Gems in there, so I picked up that one too. So I picked up half of that case. 12 cars out of the 24 I grabbed. There was a couple other license models that I actually passed over in it that were okay. There was a Jeep that I didn't get, and there was a fire truck I didn't get. Probably one other, but there was 2 of these Sapphire Gem. We're gonna go ahead and open up this one. The other one I picked up from my buddy Crazy Todd. And then there was Nissan Leaf, and we'll just look at these real brief right here because I am gonna open them up. The Ranchero, let's see, the Hudson Hornet, and the Nissan Junior, Porsche Panamera, and this Holden pickup. I was really actually excited for that model. That's a cool one. Holden. Here's a Jeep, Willie's Jeep. This is another Jeep that was in the case. There was a different one. I don't remember what it is. Sorry about that. And then the 09 International Star. I thought this was kind of an interesting one, so I had to pick this one up. And it's got that real sweet Matchbox logo on it. I think it looks awesome. And then these 2, the Austin Healey and the Jaguar XK140 Roadster, which really look really cool together as a pair. Similar era or same era type deals. Well, a 56 and a 63, so they're not quite the same, but very similar looking vehicles, roadsters, that both look awesome. So I had to grab those. And that's going to be it for this segment. So we're going to take a look at all this Matchbox stuff. I'll probably do that the second half of the last segment. And then we're going to open up all this other stuff too. So we actually got quite a bit to look at. And I do want to spend a little time on these mainline Matchboxes because they are doing a fantastic job, guys, with their licensed models. I don't think that can be denied. I just don't. I think the new card art looks great. The only thing I wish is I think it's time for Matchbox to bump their case count back up. It doesn't need to be 24. You keep good licensed models in it like this, and you could at least do, a 36 or a 48 count case. If you're going to have good stuff like this in there. Because now it's like, okay, well, I picked up the one of these that's available, one of each of these castings that was available, and now who knows what we're going to see next. We just don't know. I'd rather have more choppy distribution where they put out, 36 count cases, you get a few of those, and then it keeps moving. Instead of getting a bunch of 24 count cases of the same case code that it seems like one store gets stuck on for a long period of time before it moves. So I think it'd be easier to vary the case codes as they get shipped, the assortments, if they're larger case quantities. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but it makes sense to me. So that's gonna be it. Let's flip the video around, or flip the camera around, and take a look at this stuff. All right, guys, let's start with this kind of oddball, cheaper diecast stuff. This Mighty Machine, Streakers, Super Speed Wheelers. There's some of the other cars on the back. As you can see, Imperial is the brand, I guess. Kmart. For ages 5+, small parts not suitable for children under 3. Interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and let's open this up. It is pretty cool. I just wanted to keep it in the package just as a weird example of some oddball diecast, but I'm not going to do it. I don't think too many people probably have packaged Mighty Machines around, and probably for good reason. Here is this, I think it's a Ferrari Testarossa. It looks like a Ferrari Testarossa that's almost like missing the bottom half of the car. Does it even say what it is on here? It doesn't. And it just says made in China. It sure has that Testarossa look to it, though. No interior in this car, plastic base, metal body. It's got a little bit of suspension travel. Not great quality for sure, but interesting nonetheless. And I will throw this in with my kind of like my Testarossa collection, because it's just one of those cars I collect. And it is what it is, right? So whatever, it's not that cool, but it's weird. All right, there's that. And then the Road and Track 2-car value pack, Maisto, manufactured under license for Walmart stores exclusively. Is there a date on this thing? Yeah, there probably is somewhere. Is it worth finding? Probably not. It's one of those weird open from the back. Forget that. I'm gonna open them from the back. Let's take out these Maisto cards. Now, these are when Maisto was actually kind of cool. They were. They had a period of time where their little, like, cheapo cars were actually kind of neat. This is kind of from that era, I believe. It's got a little bit of suspension to it. There's your plastic base. This is a Mercedes-Benz SLK 230. And it's yellow. It's got painted detail on the front, though. Nothing in the back. But it does have some headlights, I guess, and Mercedes logo. Definitely not too detailed. It's got kind of almost Matchbox, like super fast style wheels to it. There's that one. These wheels are kind of cool, though. This Mercedes, what is this? ML320. Made in China. But those wheels are pretty decent for plastic wheels. And for detail, we get the Mercedes logo in the front, and that literally is all you get. But kind of an oddball little thing. These will probably end up going to my son Charlie to play with. I don't really have a reason to collect them, I don't think. But yeah, that's probably where they'll end up. And let's see here. Ford Transit Supervan, 101 Dalmatians. This would go nice next to the Corolla DeVille Super. But here is this, and of course I got it just because it's the Ford Transit Supervan, which is definitely one of my favorite little van castings. I think it's a great casting. I think they did an excellent job on it. The best version of it so far was the first release of it in the Hot Wheels Heritage Real Riders set. This one looks, you know, in spite of the picture tampos, the color is pretty nice. It's got like a metal flake, kind of goldish brown to it, which I think looks great. And I love those wheels. I just really do love those gray hubbed Real Rider wheels that harken back to the old 80s Real Riders. So other than that, it's got full deco because it's pop culture. So you get the headlights in the front, you get the taillights in the back, and tampos all around. So looks all right. There's that one. And then, of course, we got to open up this one, the T1 panel bus, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Go ahead and open that up. top of that actually looks really cool. I think that's kind of neat how they did that. And then here's the sides. So different tempos on each side. But of course, it is a pop culture, so you get full deco. Again, would love to see this T1 panel bus and more premium series stuff. Be kind of tough to throw it in car culture so soon again, since it just appeared in car culture. But I don't think we've ever seen like a Redline Club of this at all. I'm pretty sure we have not. So I'm surprised actually that they haven't put this casting on that. It seems to have been exclusively pop culture, except for that Fat Lace car. And then, if you remember that, and then the car culture, what is it? Not transporters, cargo carriers in Moon Eyes. I think it would be nice to see a Spectra Flame one show up in the RLC Club. Let me know what you think about that. All right, so there's that, and then let's do Johnny Lightning quick here. Let's do this Malibu. I had to pick this up. It's in white and gold poly. Again, limited to 2,500. The only other car I thought about picking up in this that I didn't was the GMC Cyclone. I thought that was pretty cool. They do have the 99 Pontiac Trans Am, and you guys know I collect Trans Ams, but the 99, like that generation, I'm not a huge fan of, so I don't really collect those. But this looks pretty neat. It's definitely interesting casting. We got metal base, metal body. The white wall tires could use some help. These, however, probably would be fixable. The way Johnny Lightning does their wheels, in case you didn't know, they're actually 3-piece wheels. There's the back part, the front part, which is like the rim that you see, and then the tire itself. So, and these are really skinny tires, but if I played with them for a while, I could probably get them to look more like circles. It's just they're really skinny and they're actually really thin. And then this one should have an opening hood. Let's go ahead and... It's really tough to open. It does open, it is there, but I'm not going to force it any further than it already is. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's gold, it's white. It looks pretty nice from the side. Just the rims themselves, or the hubcaps or whatever, look really awesome. It's just the tire needs some help here. And I'll spend some time off camera trying to go ahead and fix those just to make them look better. And I'm sure I'll be able to do it, but... it's annoying that you have to do that, for sure. Don't get me wrong. I've always preached that basically if you have to customize your diecast after it comes out because you want it to look better, I shouldn't say customize. I should say if you have to fix your cars after you open them up, that's too bad. But anyway, it is the case there. Then this here, the 2 golf cars. So yeah, they are definitely... There's a lot of golf license stuff coming out. I'm not going to lie. They are kind of doing that to death. Somebody posted a meme, somebody on Instagram, and forgive me, I don't know what the meme is, but they did it of beating a dead horse. Beating a dead horse meme with golf livery stuff. And yeah, I can't say I don't agree, but at the same time, I love golf livery stuff, so... It's hard to say they're putting out too much of it. I don't buy everything, okay? I don't buy everything that's golf. But these I absolutely had to have. And mainly I just had to have it for this GT casting, because you guys know I collect this casting. I think I've shown a version of this in the last 2 episodes of Diecast Weekly. Maybe not the last 2, but definitely 2 in a row. I think they were the last 2. If not, they were the 2 before the last one. Either way, this casting's great. It's got metal body, metal base. It is a very nice version of the Ford GT. So I really like it. I think it's awesome. They probably make the best version of the 2005 Ford GT that you can get domestic diecast. Definitely better than the Hot Wheels one. Ooh, this is interesting. This actually has plastic tires. I thought this thing had rubber tires, and it does not. They are plastic, which is kind of a bummer. I wish Johnny Lightning would basically just stick. They do nice looking plastic tires, don't get me wrong, but they could do this in rubber and have these same rims. They definitely could. And then one of these tires has some pretty awful flashing to it, so again, without modification, it's not going to roll perfect or sit perfect. Semi-irritating. but it is what it is. And then this Mustang is actually really nice. I think it looks pretty good. This one's got an opening hood. This one also has a middle base and rubber tires. And this is also, this casting in particular was the first white Lightning that I ever found in the wild, was this casting. I don't have it handy to show you it, but was pretty stoked to find that. And I think that looks pretty good. Both of them Fords. Nice looking car, for sure. And in the package together, I mean, they look striking together, and I think they look really good. So it's going to be hard for people when they see that in the wild. They should be able to find it at Myers. If you have a Meyer, it's going to be hard not to pick that up. And then I guess sticking with golf for just 1 second, we got the Golf Oil Super Special from King Crunch Series 1 from Greenlight. And this is the Chevy K10 monster truck. Oh, man. Okay, that is really cool. Okay, Greenlight does some very cool stuff, and I don't think any other brand should really follow suit to what they do, because stuff like this I think really belongs to Greenlight. They do the RVs, you know, they do just some really interesting larger scale stuff, larger 1/64 scale stuff, and these monster trucks are just fantastic replicas. This one sits a little crooked, which is a common Greenlight issue. The base is sitting on crooked. I wish Greenlight, you know what you should do? You should just start screwing together your bases. Stop using rivets. I know that'd be an impossible transition probably just to do, but you should do it. You should definitely do it, because then at least I'd be able to take this thing apart and fix it without having to drill it. And I'm not going to drill any of my car. I'm just not going to drill a car to make it look better. I'm going to keep it manufacturer spec. Now, one thing interesting about this isn't a Chevy. It's like the Chevy casting that they did have. I don't think it's the same tooling. And it'd be interesting to look at the base here. Chevy K10, because you know they do this, so it's a GL 142, so it's definitely its own casting. But what is interesting about it is, as you can see there are holes for axles, for standard size axles. So that is kind of intriguing. I'm trying to look over at my wall right now for the Chevy, what is it, the Chevy Cheyenne or the Chevy whatever it is. You get the C10. You guys know what I'm talking about. I know I have one over there somewhere. I just can't see it from here, but obviously it's not the same tooling because it doesn't have these large wheel wells. But this thing is just, it is really cool. It was hard for me not to pre-order a whole series of these. The only reason why I did not do that was because these are just going to be tough to store. They're not going to be able to loose, and I'm a loose collector, so they're going to be tough to put in. They won't fit in a carny case. They really won't fit in any type of regular cases, so I have to display them loose, and I just don't want 100 of these to display loose. So I really wanted mainly just one example of each tooling, the Chevy tooling, and one example of the Ford tooling, which I ended up with 2 examples of the Ford tooling, but whatever. So that looks great. It fills up the frame of the camera really nicely, and I think it's just an awesome piece. So let me know what you guys think about those monster trucks. All right, so let's see here. Next up, before we go back to some Mattel stuff, let's take a look at this here. So this is the Hot Rod Collectibles Racing Champions 57 Plymouth Fury. And I see something cool about this already. It's almost set up like a drag car. It's got slicks in the back. Look at those big fat meats in the back. 57 Plymouth Fury Racing Champions, and it's got the skinny pizza cutters in front. Hood shut's good, and I always check Racing Champions immediately for quality issues. This one's got a plastic base. These are numbered 1 to 9,999, and I got 3 to 3960. A little bit of a paint issue down here, but it doesn't appear to have any zinc pest, so that's good. And overall, I think this thing looks pretty awesome. in all black and blown engine. I mean, yeah, I dig it. What do you guys think about that Plymouth Fury? Radar 468, what do you think about that Plymouth Fury? I know you're a huge fan of the Plymouth Fury. So that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool indeed. So really cool. All right, so there's that. And then let's do some Hot Wheels real quick. Let's go ahead and open the Gold Rush. This car I've been sort of waiting for, I guess. I like the long gone casting. Out of all these like semi-truck castings, there's two that are really good, and I've kind of gotten away from the highway hauler. The long gone is really cool, and this is very nice in this gold color, gold and black. And I love these Real Rider rims as well. They're just like those gray ones that we showed on the Pop Culture, but they're chromed. Goner. So the long gone I really dig. That's a cool one. And then the cab over, the Thunder Roller, is a really awesome semi-truck casting from Hot Wheels. So those two I do like quite a bit. The highway hauler, I give or take. It looks okay. It's kind of cool. There's a ton of variations of it, but I prefer this one and the Thunder Roller. I think that's pretty awesome. That's a nice looking truck. It is. All right, so there's that. And then speaking of nice looking truck, ooh, get my camera there. We got this guy here, the Hypo Hauler. Go ahead and it's heavy. It's really heavy. Go ahead and open it up. Hopefully, it's stuck in the package. Let's get it out. All right. Love the color. This orange color is pretty awesome. This one's got the pizza cutters in front, big fatties in the back there. Chrome base, custom Econoline pickup. So I believe it is the same tooling as the standard Econoline tooling that they recently put out. It's just sort of modified with those tires and then space for this motor. I should have got one out to look at, but I didn't. The motor, by the way, I think is metal. I think that is actually metal. That is hard to tell, but it's got to be metal with how heavy this thing is. It's really cool that they kind of put detail on the belt there. That looks pretty awesome. And overall, it's a cool piece. And I like this casting in general, so I had to have it. So I'm glad I kept it. I was going to just sell this one too, but I decided to keep one of them, and I'm glad I did. So I could have ordered more of these when they opened it up to more than one per membership, but I just decided it's not worth it for me to order more. So just got the one, and there it is. So let me know what you guys thought about that in the comments down below. Did you pick one up if you're an RLC member? Do you dig it? I think it's kind of cool. I like that the front wheel looks really awesome. So there is that. And then let's chat Matchbox. Let's start real quick. We're going to bust through this 5-pack super fast. All right, so starting with these two, we've got the motorcycle. I could take or leave this one. Not a fan of the Diecast 164. Well, they're not, because they're not 164 scale, so that's why they just don't fit in lineup. So I'm not a huge fan of these motorcycles, but it's okay. And then we've got this guy here, the Speed Trap, which is kind of cool. The only problem with the Speed Trap is like it's got numbers on here, but you sure as heck cannot see what the numbers are. So that is too bad. Like, they should tampo it, you know. I think they should. Texas Slowdown. So we're going to keep that out in case one of these has a trailer hitch on it, which one of them does. This is pretty sweet, though. These cars, when they first started putting these out as police vehicles, law enforcement vehicles, they just look menacing. And definitely just a mean-looking vehicle. So I think that looks pretty good. Texas Department of Public Safety, Texas Highway Patrol. That looks pretty good. And then we got the truck. something like Walker Texas Ranger would probably drive. There it is. It's a Ram. Very minimal. It's pretty much unmarked. It's got a light bar. The only tampo action I can see is that rim. 1500 on the side. So there's that one. And then this one's pretty cool, this Jeep. And the Jeep has a trailer hitch on it. So let's see how these are compatible. Not very, because the trailer hitch sits up so high on this Jeep that it pulls this thing at a wild angle. So that's not going to really work. But still a cool little 5-pack of Matchbox vehicles. I think very nice, and Matchbox still is doing a great job with that stuff. But let's get into the stuff that's really cool to me, and that is these mainline Matchbox cars. These 09 International E-Star is a weird one. I'm not familiar with the real car, but it likely is a real car. It's metal. This is metal. Plastic base, of course, but the main bulk of the vehicle is metal. And it's got that Matchbox logo on it. I don't think the back of this opens. No, it definitely doesn't. It's like part of the interior. But that is a very cool and interesting model. I'm just going to kind of just open these up quick. Let's talk about them for a little bit, but I am going to open them fairly quick. The Ranchero. Pretty nice. We get some good amount of detail there on the back of the car. Nothing on the front, but they do have, you know, it's a separate kind of grill piece. Well, not a separate grill piece. It's part of the base. I think that looks pretty good. Definitely looks pretty good. This one I think has got to be, yeah, this is a new casting. So this is the 2018 Nissan Leaf. Definitely not an interesting car to me in real life, but in this 1/64 scale diecast form, they did a good job of it. It's a cool little, you know, more common civilian car, and it's got the detail exactly where and how you want it. I can't say that's bad. They definitely did a good job of it. Then this one, the Nissan Junior pickup. This is a cool pickup. I think this is the second time this has been released. This one's got a trailer hitch on it as well. Let's see if the speed trap fits in this one good. Yeah, a lot better. So the Junior's got detail in the front and detail in the back. Exactly what you want for someone that collects vehicles that look somewhat realistic, and for $1 these cars are a bargain for $1, I'm telling you. Jeep pickup, detail in the front, no detail in the back, but a very nice like color for this car. It's weird, though, because it does have a little bit of metal flake in it. There's a little bit of sparkle to it, which I don't think is too appropriate for this vehicle, but it looks good. So there's that. Porsche Panamera. This casting's been out quite a few times for Matchbox. But I can't argue with the Porsche, even though it's a four-door Porsche, because we got detail in the front and we got detail in the back. And that's exactly where you want it. So take a look around that one. It looks really good. The wheels look really good for this car. I think they look great. I love those Matchbox wheels as it is. I think a lot of people like those Matchbox wheels quite a bit. For a mainline wheel, it's very, very nice. I think we got 5 more to go here. Here is the Hudson Hornet. That's a cool one. What's the copyright date on that one? Hudson Hornet, I'm trying to think. So 2016, I think. So yeah, so this is a fairly new casting. I want to say this has only been out one other time, maybe 2 other times. Police livery, it was out. So this is the fire department. It is Fernando Valley Fire Department. Pretty cool. So this one's just got the side tampos, no detail on the front or back. But I'd say for $1, That's a winner. And then the Holden VEUTE SSV 2008. This casting came out, I think, around 2008 or 2009. Cool to see it again, and very cool to see it like this. This green color is very vibrant, bright, and awesome. And it's got detail in the front, and it's got detail in the back. And the wheels are actually really cool, too. They're like an iridescent, darker chrome look. And I don't know, this one looks fantastic. This is a cool car that just never was available in the United States, of course. It's a Holden, and I think it's awesome. I like this casting a lot. And what's the copyright date on it? Looking for the copyright date. Made in Thailand, TM, 2010. So that's when that's probably when that casting first came out, was 2010 or 2011. What do you guys think of that one? I think that's a winner. Definitely a winner. All right. Then we got our two Roadsters. Let's start with the 56 Jag. And here is the 56 Jaguar. I think this casting's been out for some time. No, maybe not. Maybe this is the new one. This is copyright date 2018. So this is a new one. I'm assuming it is anyway. My theory could be incorrect. But we have tampos in the front. We got tampos in the back, exactly where you want them. And for a $1 car, of course, it's a Matchbox license model, and it looks fantastic. There's nothing to complain about here. For a $1 model, this is probably as good as, I mean, in this day and age, as it gets, period. Not much you can do better than that. You could argue that you don't like the car or whatever, but quality-wise, for $1, I mean, you're nuts if you think it's not great. So this might be a new one, too. This one's also copyright date 2018. And I thought that these were older castings. They maybe not, maybe they're not, or maybe they were, I don't know. 63 Austin Healey Roadster. I'm not super well versed in Matchbox history, even though I do those vintage Matchbox videos every Monday. But look at this one. Where are the tampos? Oh, what do we got? Oh, we got headlights and we got taillights. And all you need. It's all you need for this size car. It's all you need. Nice solid color. Looks good. Good interior choice of color. Looks good. Base is silver. It's not chrome, which is actually awesome. I actually prefer that. And Matchbox does that a lot. They don't do a lot of chrome bases. As you may or may not have noticed, like that. If that was Hot Wheels, that would be chrome. It would most likely it would be chromed, and they're not here. And I like that they're not chromed. One of the reasons why is I'm a loose car collector, and that chrome sometimes rubs off fairly easily. The other thing is a chrome shiny base. I just don't really need it, and I just think it looks better like this. So you can tell me if I'm wrong. But both of these cars make a great pair together, and I think that, yeah, Matchbox knows what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And then, lastly, let's check out the Sapphire Gem. Now, as far as I said, they know what they're doing, but for the 65th anniversary, we got, oop, I just dropped this in the middle of all my garbage that I've been throwing on the ground here from opening up all these cars. All right, so this is the Rafter SVT. Okay, this is my first loose Sapphire Gem in the collection. What do we think about these? Do we think, I mean, they're chases, I guess, but they're not chases. The only reason why they're tough to find, to be honest with you, is because Matchbox distribution is completely whacked out. And that's why Sapphire Gems are tough to find. But out of a 24 count case, there was 2 of these in there, and there was not 2 of any of these other models. I don't know if that's guaranteed, but I've seen a lot of cases have 3 Sapphire Gems, not locally to me, of course, because they never came. But, and then there's a Sapphire Gem that's in a 5-pack, that Jaguar, that should be pretty easy to find. In general, these should be fairly easy to find, actually easier to find than most of the other cars. Now, why? They're not chases. They're really not. I wouldn't consider them chases because they're not more rare than the other models in the series. Okay, they may not carry over from case to case, and maybe that makes them special. They got a 65th anniversary logo on it, which maybe makes them special. They're called a Sapphire Gem, which I guess makes them special. But can you consider this a chase? You guys let me know in the comments down below. Do you think these are chase pieces? Would you define them as such? They look good. I mean, of course, we get to sacrifice the front end and rear end detail for this side tampo action. So there is that. But as far as it goes, I mean, it looks good. I want the Jaguar. I want the Jaguar for sure. But I'd want the Jaguar in any color, not necessarily the Sapphire Gem color. But they've been tough to find in my area, and mainly because they just, Matchbox in general is tough to find and keep up with in my area, and I imagine they're probably tough to find and keep up with in a lot of areas. So, rant about that over. Other than that, Matchbox, you're doing a great job on these cars. I absolutely love the mainline Matchbox stuff. It actually excites me a bit more than finding new Hot Wheels, to be honest with you. And yeah, I'm going to stick with that. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching another long weekly update video. Please tune into the other ones. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe, like, comment, and all that good stuff. Thank you to all my faithful subscribers as well. And yeah, there's a lot of videos on this channel to watch. So if you're new, check out the playlists, find what you like, and go ahead and watch them if you like them. Comment. I love reading the comments and all that good stuff. So thank you all very much, and have a good week.